So in this case, it'd be myself again. Alright, but if you're targeting a boss, alright, this particular one here will be the tank, okay, or the person that's ripped aggro, or the person that the boss is currently doing some random threat ability to. So it's always useful to know who that person is, or who your current target is targeting itself. So move that across. If you've got a pet, alright, move the pet bar as well. So let's pop that here for the moment. Alright, so if you've got a hunter or something, you can always move it across to the left a little bit more, and you can change the size of it. So if you look at the top options, you've got pet. Alright, pet frame scale, so you can make it bigger or smaller. I think the standard size is fine. Alright, but extra width, alright, you can read the numbers a bit better. There you go. If you want to have a matching interface, then you can always move the target's target down to here, or say somewhere along those sort of lines. Okay, you'll notice you've got all of these ones here at the minute that say warrior, rogue, hunter, mage, warlock, druid, all the classes basically, and one big one that says party. I suggest you move that to the top left as such. Alright, and just move these windows kind of out of the way for the moment. Doesn't really matter too much where they go, just so long as they're out of the way. Okay, you'll notice that this part of the minute is too big to fit under your chat window. Alright, you can fix that by two ways. Alright, making a user interface scale smaller, so you've got more room to play with. But what you can do is you can change the party setting, there it is. Alright, and you can change the party frame scale with this one, so you can make it a bit smaller in our case. So there you go, that should be plenty fine. What you'll have to do is when you get into your first 5-man party is just test this as well. So if you go back to party again, alright, click spacing, make it bigger or smaller. I usually suggest expanding it to the top of your chat window, like so. Alright, which is how your Blizzard default one would be anyway. Once you've done that, alright, move this window across to the side, and now you need to move your raid windows. Alright, so you've got this one here for warrior, okay, you've got this one here for druid. Let's just move these near the top again, so one there, one here, line them all up as best as you can, okay, another one here, and then just keep doing this until they're in a position that you're happy with. These are going to be your raid windows, alright, so when you go and join a raid group, you know, whether it be 40 people PvP, or whether it be, you know, a 10-man raid group, or a 25-man raid group, this is where your classes, health bars is going to appear. So your priest, paladins, your death knights, your warriors, okay, and then just flick them all up here into the right place. Okay, if you then go to raid, okay, well actually if you go to raid first, to be honest with you, this might be better. Alright, you can adjust the raid frame scale. So at the minute we're at 117%, you might want to make them smaller, you might want to make them bigger, okay, you can choose how big you want it. Alright, so let's just fill it up to there for the moment. That should do us, that should be fine. Okay, Xpearl has a load of different options though. Okay, so familiarise yourself with this one. You'll also notice if you're first using Xpearl as well, okay, that you have this little thing in the middle, alright, which is an aggro warning. You can shift that up to the top. Alright, if you move it, it will show you what it's going to display. Okay, aggro or pet aggro. Alright, if you leave that here and leave it as it is, if you ever have threat, it'll have a warning on screen. However, if you go to the options at the top, and let's say, I think it's helper, here we go, yep, on helper, you can turn it off and on. Alright, so you've got aggro warning. Alright, I'm going to turn it off, I don't ever use it, I've got a threat meter, I don't need to. Okay, this point here, alright, with the other add-ons that you've got, you want this bit to say, use CTRA or Aura main tank targets, or you can use Blizzard main tank targets. Okay, I forget which the right option is, but in this case I'm going to leave it saying CTRA or Aura, because in that way, if you go down here to the bottom and you want to change someone's role, alright, I think that's the one that pulls in all the people that you've assigned as tanks into your tank window, which you will see when you join your first raid. Okay, at this point then, we're starting to look more like a workable interface. Okay, from here on it's more or less fine tuning. Okay, however the one thing we've not set up yet is the background texture. So if we press escape, okay, and go to options, not options, if we go to interface, okay, you'll have all these tabs at the top here for game and add-ons. Okay, at this point you want to click Sun Art. Okay, this is your viewport settings and stuff. Okay, so from this point onwards, what you can do, you can change your theme. Okay, there's a few to start off with. So at the minute we've got Royal. Okay, how about Rogue? Let's have a look at that. You've got a red sort of colour. Okay, you can go to Forsaken. Okay, and that will change your colour again as well. Okay, let's stick to the Rogue for the minute. That looked quite nice. That was kind of Warlocky-ish, wasn't it? From this point, alright, what you can do is you can change your artwork overlap. Okay, so if you drag this across, that'll obviously show you what part of the screen it is you're taking up. So we don't need to use as much as we've done so far. We can just set it up to here. That looks like it will do us. Okay, you can change the length, alright, so you can get different part of the graphic on screen. Okay, if you just adjust that to how big your user interface was, that's fine. Take the box that says water bug fix, alright, to explain what that means. When we change the viewport settings, okay, which we'll do in a second, if you go into Oldham or the Tol'vir instance and the other one in the Vashnia, okay, those dungeons at the minute are viewport bugged, alright, which means if you adjust the viewport, okay, then you'll go in there and that will muck up where your character appears on your screen. Okay, to get around it, alright, you should be able to tick that box and that should reset your viewport, alright, if the bug happens. If not, just reset any viewport settings that you will see later. Okay, panels, okay, if you have this one here at the top here, alright, you can change how thick your panel is. Alright, this one is for the top, so you don't need to have a big one here, so you can make that a bit smaller or a little bit bigger. Okay, scale, obviously just adjust that one to how you want it. Alright, that's just the size of the actual background itself. As you can see, it's adjusting a little bit at the top. Okay, obviously you can flip it, do whatever you want with it, and change whichever sections you want. Okay, you can do the same thing for the bottom panel. You can make one for the left and you can make one for the right. I only ever bother with a little one at the top and a main one at the bottom, which is where I put all of my bars. Okay, right, we're almost done. Sheep monitor. Okay, I don't think you can actually change this one until you actually see it working. Okay, but what this will do is give you a display of anything that you've currently sheeped. It will give you a nice little countdown timer box. Okay, and you can even make it play a sound. Alright, when you're done. Boing. Alright, there you go. And that'll play that noise if your crowd controlled thing actually breaks loose. Okay, so buzzer. That'll do. Let's leave it for that one at the moment. You can have it play a warning and raid warning for you as well. Okay. Other than that, we'll leave this bit for the time being. The only other bit that's left for us to adjust now, in terms of getting going, is the viewport. Alright, so if we go /CT again, alright, and go into viewport, okay, and hit show options, you get this little window pop up here. Okay, if you adjust this bit, alright, what's going to happen is the bottom of your screen, alright, is going to adjust. So if we click apply now, alright, there you go, you've got this little black border here, which means that we've adjusted it too much. So bring it down, or type in a number, hit apply, and keep toggling it until you get to the right amount. Alright, so in this case we're probably going to need to go to about 240. There you go, that'll do, spot on. A little bit at the top, let's just say 30 for the time being. No, that's too much, let's say 10. Okay, that's better. Okay, and apply. Okay, and now you've not lost any of your screen resolution, and your character's back to standing in more or less the right place. Okay, with this bit at the top here that says the canals, I do absolutely hate that bit. Alright, I don't need to know the name for location that I'm in. Alright, so you can go back into your minimap. Okay, and there is a button on here that says show hide somewhere or another. Okay, zone button, duh, that's where it is. Alright, always on hover, never, gone, never. Okay, done. Okay, right, what's left for us to set up now is Deadly Boss Mods. So return again, bring up your chat window, /DBM, and return. Okay, that brings up your Deadly Boss Mod options. Okay, first thing to do,